I've never actually been to Vegas. I doubt I will, because I know that's a pretty big city with lights and everything. And especially these gals right here. Oh boy, can you believe it's been 30 years since this came out? I can't. Because it was a hot one, despite it didn't do so hot. But is this film I'm about to talk about really still that bad? Does it still deserve the hate after 30 years? Or can I give this one some good old fashioned Big D justice? Brace yourselves, because here's my review of Showgirls. Big D's Entertainment Rankings and Reviews. So, greetings, my fellow YouTubers, and welcome to Big D's Entertainment Rankings and Reviews. I'm the Big D, and this time around, I bring to you a review of the 1995 erotic drama flick Showgirls, released by United Artists through MGM UA and by AMLF in France. The film was directed by Paul Verhoeven, written by Joe Esterhazy, starring Elizabeth Berkley, Kyle MacLachlan, Gina Gershon, Glenn Plummer, Robert Davi, Alan Rachins, and Gina Ravera. The film focuses on an ambitious young woman hitching a ride to Las Vegas to pursue her dreams of becoming a professional dancer and showgirl. The film was released on this day, September 22nd, 1995, and and then in France about close to 4 months later. This film sparked a lot of controversy and what have you, and of course it was rated NC-17, a very rare rating, and the first to this day only NC-17 film to be given a wide release. Yes. But this film, unfortunately, despite having some hotness, really bombed at the box office and got a ton of hate as well as numerous awards. Young drifter Nomi Malone hitchhikes to Las Vegas where she aspires to make it as a showgirl. After being robbed by a man who picked her up, Nomi meets Molly Abrams, a young professional in the Las Vegas entertainment industry. Molly ultimately takes Nomi in as a roommate. To make ends meet, Nomi begins pole dancing and stripping at Cheetah's Gentleman Club run by Al Torres. Molly invites Nomi to visit her at work backstage at the Stardust Resort and Casino, where she is a seamstress and costume designer for Goddess, the Stardust's traditional Vegas style topless dance review. While there, Nomi meets Crystal Connors, the lead female of the Goddess cast. While making small talk, Nomi mentions to Crystal that she dances at Chia's. Upon hearing this, Crystal derisively tells Nomi that what she does is akin to prostitution. Upset, Nomi refuses to go to work at Chia's that night. She and Molly go dancing at the Crave Club. Nomi then starts a fight with James Smith, a bouncer at Crave, and is subsequently arrested. Later, she pays James little mind when he bails her out of jail. Crystal and her boyfriend, Zach Carey, the entertainment director at the Stardust Casino, visit Chia's to see what Nomi does. With the two requesting a lap dance from her, although the bisexual Crystal is attracted to her, the lap dance request is based more on a desire to humiliate Nomi by insinuating that she truly does engage in a form of prostitution. Reluctantly, after Crystal offers her $500, Nomi performs the requested lap dance. James, the bouncer at Crave, and who happens to be at Chia's that night, gets a peek at Nomi's lap dance. The next day, he visits Nomi's trailer, suggesting yet again that what she is doing is no different than prostitution. James choreographs a new dance routine for Nomi, but then wants to have sex with her in exchange. When Nomi refuses, James gives the role to Penny, a former co worker of Nomi's. Later, Crystal arranges for Nomi to audition for the chorus line of guys. Tony Moss, the show's director, humiliates Nomi, asking her to rub ice cubes on her nipples, to harden them for the topless edition. Furious, Nomi abruptly leaves the audition after scattering ice everywhere in a fit. Despite her audition, Nomi gets the job and subsequently quits Chia's. Crystal then further humiliates Nomi, suggesting that she would make a goodwill appearance at a boat trade show, which turns out to be a thinly disguised prostitution sex trafficking setup. The chance to be Crystal's understudy comes up after she hurts herself. Undeterred, Nomi sets out for revenge against Crystal by claiming her role in Goddess. She seduces Crystal's boyfriend, Zach, who then secures an audition for Nomi to be Crystal's understudy. Nomi wins the role, but when Crystal threatens legal action against the Stardust, the offer is rescinded. After Crystal taunts her even more, Nomi snaps and pushes Crystal down a flight of stairs, causing her to break her hip. Only after the injury is Crystal officially replaced by Nomi as the show's lead. Despite having finally secured the fame she sought, Nomi is disillusioned and she further alienates her roommate and friend Molly, who realizes Nomi caused the hip industry. Molly later relents, attending Nomi's opening night celebration at a lavish hotel, where she meets her idol, musician Andrew Carver. Carver lures her to a room where he brutally beats her before he and his two security guard friends proceed to gang rape her to the point of hospitalization. Nomi finds out and immediately wants to call the police. Zach explains that the Stardust will bribe Molly with hush money to protect Carver, one of their star performers. Before then explaining about Nomi's sordid past, Zach discovered that Nomi was born Polly Ann Costello in San Francisco, from which she ran away at age 15 to work as a prostitute after her parents' murder suicide in 1989. After escaping from a foster home in nearby Oakland, California, the following year, Polly changed her name several times. She was also, Zach says, arrested several times in several states for various crimes ranging from drug possession and exchanging sex for money to assault with a deadly weapon. Zack blackmails Polly, or Nomi, vowing to conceal her past as long as she agrees to not report the rape and assault. Now I'm going to the ending. You must stop this video at once. Okay? But I'm going to give you the 5 seconds though. Go to the description box below and fast forward to the time below as I start to count down right away. If you've seen this already, please continue. Okay, you've been warned. Unable to obtain justice for Molly without exposing her own dubious past, Nomi decides to take matters into her own hands. After brutally attacking Carver alone in his hotel room, Nomi then makes two hospital visits, the first being to inform a semi-conscious but recovering Molly that Carver's actions did not go unpunished, and the second to Crystal, apologizing for pushing her down the stairs and injuring her. As Crystal was not pressing charges against Nomi, and her lawyers had secured her a large cash settlement, she forgives Nomi. Crystal admits that she attempted a similar stunt years earlier. They exchange a reconciliatory, slightly romantic kiss. Nomi leaves Vegas and hitches a ride to LA, coincidentally with the same man who previously robbed her on her way to Vegas. She subsequently holds him at knife point, demanding the return of her suitcase. End of story. So, what did I think of Showgirls? Now, I've only seen this film twice. I just finished watching it a while ago before I got into this here review. Well, I will say this is one hell of a flick. I know this is not one of the greatest films of all time. No way. No, ma'am. And what have you. Anyway, the film bombed at the box office, making 37.8 million, almost 38 million on its 40 to 45 million dollar budget. How and despite that, and getting negative theatrical and critical consensus. The film enjoyed success on VO cassette, still before DVD even existed. It has gone to become one of MGM's top 20 all time bestsellers since its VO release. For its home video release, Verhoeven prepared an R-rated edition for rental outlets that could not or would not carry NC-17 films. The R-rated runs about 3 minutes short, omitting some footage deemed to be more graphic. This version was later also available on networks like HBO and In Demand. But however, I've actually seen this in its original form. Yes, I actually saw it completely. I think it was the way it was, but I could be wrong though. Well, to this day in the 21st century, it has been regarded as a cult film with a dedicated fan base. And it has also been subject to critical reevaluation, with some notable directors and critics considering it a serious satire worthy of praise. Now, there actually would be a direct sequel released in 2011 called Showgirls 2 Pennies from Heaven, and it focused on a minor character named Penny from the film. There was even a musical adaptation. The film got nominated for a then record, for a record 13 nominations at the Razzies, a record that still stands to this day. They only won 7 of them for Worst Picture, Worst Actress for Berkley, who also won Worst New Star, Worst Screen Couple, Worst Original Song, Worst Screenplay, and Worst Director, in which Paul Verhoeven himself accepted. It later won an 8th Razzie later on for Worst Picture of the Decade. Berkley also got nominated for Worst Actress of the Century and Worst New Star of the Decade, but lost. It later got nominated again in 2004 for Worst Drama of Our First 25 Years, but lost. Two of the producers, Alan Marshall and Charles Evans, won the Worst Picture award at the Stinkers Bad Movie Awards. Kyle MacLachlan and Elizabeth Berkley were nominated for Worst Actor and Actress, but lost. Despite being nominated for all those, it did win Worst Film at the Dallas-Fort Worth Film Critics Association Awards and was nominated for Best DVD Extras. And that was for the film for the packaging. Excuse me, everyone. But anyway, critics bemoaned the film's lack of eroticism and described the film's heavy degree of nudity as exploitive and demeaning to women. Kenneth Turner in the LA Times, well, this is from long ago, wrote that the film has somehow managed to make extensive nudity exquisitely boring and descends into incoherent tedium. And added that though the filmmaker's incessant talk about vision, artistry, and honest self-expression lead one to expect a sexually explicit biopic about the Dalai Lama, what is in fact provided is depressing and disappointing, as well as dehumanizing. There was just too many, and what have you. I'm not really going to get into too many of these, but there was a ton. To this day, the film sits at 24% on Rotten Tomatoes, saying that it's vile, contemptible, garish, and misogynistic, and that might just be exactly the film's point. Metacritic has a score 20, and Audiences Pro by Cinema Score gave it a C. Kyle MacLachlan actually recalled seeing the film for the first time at the premiere. Yeah. Now, a year after this film, a film that was kept at a good distance from it, was, of course, the film Striptease, which was released in June of the following year, which would also go on to win the Worst Picture award. But I'll talk about that another time. But anyway, yeah, Showgirls, while I appreciate its hotness and sexiness and what have you, and also its amazing choreography, but yeah, some of it's kind of a mixed bag though, especially with its unexpected, shocking drama and what have you. Yeah, that was kind of a little bit of a slight issue I have with this film because that was kind of intense. I mean, I've seen other films that have a little bit of rape and intent, and bits and stuff like that, you know. But anyway, the music for the film was composed by David A. Stewart, who, of course, most people would know him best as half of the band, or should I say, the duo The Eurythmics with Annie Lennox. Yeah, I thought that name sounded familiar when I just checked up on him. Yes. The soundtrack got released on Interscope Records and featured numerous tunes, including an early version of the late great David Bowie's I'm Afraid of Americans, just before he even did a new version with Trent Reznor of Nine Inch Nails. And then and the song New Skin performed by Susie and the Banshees, who of course who recently lent their song Face to Face in Batman Returns a few years prior. So the soundtrack's fair and what is fairly decent and what have you. But overall, Showgirls is not 110% bad. It's got its flaws and what have you. All I can say is I like it for its hotness, its sexiness, and what have you. It didn't really bother me completely much for its TNA galore and what have you. I said TNA. You know what that means? Yep. Okay, enough said. I'm sorry, I'm getting carried away here. But yeah, if you are a die-hard fan of seeing something like that in a film like this, and this would be right up your alley, but I would only recommend you give the film a one-time watch. But if you're not interested in this, then avoid it. I'm giving you my verdict on this film. So this film's a draw between give it a one-time watch or and avoid it. Now that's out of the way, let me get into the cast. Playing Nomi, aka Pollyann Costello, is none other than Jessie of Saved by the Bell fame, Elizabeth Berkley. Yes, I was rather surprised that she did this after Saved by the Bell had ended. Well, I can say that I can give her credit and what have you for what she had to offer and what have you. I know a lot of people did not particularly care, probably didn't care for her and what have you, and I understand it. But she proved to be a bit of a hot one than I had anticipated. Kyle MacLachlan, yes, of course, who appeared in films like Dune and Blue Velvet, and this was just released just shortly after he had recently done The Flintstones the previous year. Plays Zach. I'll say he was good. Gina Gershon played Crystal. Yeah, she did. She was a pretty good one. I mean, of course, Gershon had recently done films like Cocktail and many others. She would later go on to do Face Off after this, as well as Bound with Jennifer Tilly. Playing James Smith is Glenn Plummer. Robert Davi played Al Torres. Alan Rachins played Tony Moss. Those were all pretty good. And Gina Ravera played Molly. She wasn't too bad. I gotta give her credit for that. But there's lots of others and what have you. Even one person is credited as a goddess dancer, and that of course was future Dancing with the Stars judge Carrie Ann Inaba. Yes, you heard me correctly. I can't believe it. I couldn't really tell her though, but anyway, Well, it's a mixed bag from my point of view. Well, as I've said already, Showgirls is not really one of the best movies. Well, I wouldn't say it's 110% bad, so I can't possibly defend this film 110% though. So I can defend it because of its hotness, its the right stuff you get, and all that stuff. The cast is fine, what have you. I mean, don't hate me for liking Elizabeth Berkley, though. Okay, please don't hate me. But some of the cast wasn't too bad. The music was pretty good. I just wish it could have, well, done a little bit better. But oh well, we're all entitled to our own opinions. Thank you very much. So anyway, as I've said in my verdict, give this a one-time watch if you are into hot erotic stuff or stuff with great choreography and whatever. Maybe or maybe hot choreography or a little TNA or maybe a lot of TNA. Then this would be up your alley. But if not, then avoid it. So, what did you think of Showgirls? Let me know in the comments section below. If you like this video, click the like button, subscribe, and be a part of the Big D Nation. Continue to help support my channel, and you know the rest. Next time, I'll be giving you a review of Tim Burton's Corpse Bride. So, if you like this, check out my reviews of these two macho flicks that Paul Verhoeven did before this one. And these were much better films than this. The upper left-hand corner is my review of the original RoboCop from 1987. The upper right-hand corner is my recent review of 1990's Total Recall. Or if you'd like another showgirl flick, yeah, you can check out my mini review of The Last Showgirl with Pamela Anderson from last year, which I did along with another film called The Fire Inside. And the bottom right hand corner is the button you can click to subscribe if you like rankings and reviews on movies, TV, music, video games, etc. Then I'm your guy. Thanks for watching. Until next time, I'm the Big D saying, see ya.